you very much indeed for joining us. You are known as the champion of blue economy.
Thank you.
And the maritime sector, where are we?
Thank you very much. Champion of the blue economy, champion of the maritime sector. It's okay. I've been engaged with the maritime sector now for more than 30 years. Vision 2030, Kenya's blueprint document for national development, finally is in the preparation stage for medium term 3. As you remember, that's the 5-year planning and execution period for attaining Vision 2030. And we are very overjoyed at this moment as the maritime sector. This gives the blue economy, the maritime sector, a high platform. It means that, therefore, the budgeting process will take cognizance of projects. We will have priority projects. We will have flagship projects on the Vision 2030, which one of the issues we've taken on board or we're planning to have is the capacity building. Because you cannot develop that which you do not have the human resources and skills, people who understand and who have the vision to drive the sector. So that takes center stage in terms of the flagship project. So a lot of things then need to happen. Yeah.
And it's quite a shame that for an industry as old as the maritime industry here in Kenya that dates back around the 14th or 15th century, that yet we have never actually collected data on who do we have on the ground, what is the potential of this industry. So when should we expect to have a database of what is actually on the ground?
Like I've told you, we just started now the medium term 3. These are some of the things that we are prioritizing because they drive the policy. The other thing that we've done is try to bring on board as many people within government, within the public sector, within the private sector, who understand the dynamics of the industry. And the basis, the basic issue then becomes the policy issues, the policies that we adopt that drive the sector. And from our analysis and what we've established is the maritime sector cuts across the entire government. We've got like 20 core departments within government that are affected or affect the government. I mean the maritime sector, or as it were, the blue economy. Beginning with, of course, if I may start, Treasury, of course. That's the fiscal planning. In terms of fiscal planning, budgetary allocations. If we don't have the data, if we don't have the information, then of course it means that the priorities will not then address the issues that we need addressed. Then you're talking of issues to do with customs, putting in the right, the customs processes and procedures that then drive trade facilitation. Because if 92% of our external international trade comes through the port, then it means the blue economy has a lot of impact on the national economy.
And what is coming out from you is that this industry, it stretches across almost all the sectors of the economy.
Government, the entire economy, the entire government structure, and therefore getting government officers who understand how it impacts on them becomes very important.
It becomes very important.
So we've been having a lot of discussions and raising awareness as a department within our colleagues. But the next step that we found very necessary is to undertake training. And we are bringing together government officers so that we may together be taken from all the relevant departments that I've quoted, that we may be together, taken through the walk. How do you identify? How do you understand? How do you make sure that all the sectors are speaking together? And therefore we are all driving towards one goal, and that's making Kenya.
But P.S., if you go back to history, you realize that Kenya had a vibrant shipbuilding and repair industry.
Yes.
Today we don't talk about it. Yet Kenya is considered as a gateway, to the eastern seaboard of Africa.
Yes.
What are we doing about this?
Now, that's a very correct observation that you've made. Our location on the Indian Ocean gives us a very vantage point if you look at our geographical position. We are only 400 miles, nautical miles, out of the busiest sea lanes of the world, transporting particularly very essential commodities between different orbits. If you look at the oil producing Middle East coming in, going to Europe, they must use our part of the world. And therefore it gives us the natural advantage, as it were, to position ourselves to do a lot in the blue economy. For example, giving certain kinds of services to those ships. They may not even need to come to Mombasa. In terms of crew change, in terms of bunker supplies, in terms of other services that we may be able to deliver to them. And you've observed correctly that at one time we were moving into a vibrant maritime economy. But what cut us short, not just in shipbuilding, ship repair also, nothing prevents those ships from coming into Mombasa to repair. And you remember we had a very vibrant, African Marine was very vibrant in those days, with a lot of ships diverting, those major repairs and going back. But along the way, we missed international accreditation, because we also had a very, very strong seafaring community.
Exactly.
We're told that those days, the Seafarers Union used to be the most strongest, vibrant
in Africa
member of COTU. So today they've withered away, which happened because somewhere along the way we failed to keep up with technological and legal requirements emanating from international organizations. The processes we are making now, like mainstreaming the blue economy so that it's a national, because those days it used to be the port doing everything. The port taking care of the operations, cargo, gateway to Kenya, but also being charged with the public, as it were, I think we call them so, the public obligations of government in terms of driving the blue economy, which doesn't pay necessarily, but then which has major dividends, because you invest, yes, but in terms of social economic benefits, goes beyond what even the port is. And if you looked at the papers recently, the cabinet has just passed the Coast Guard, the decision to set up a Coast Guard. Coast Guard in terms of maritime law enforcement. The same way we have law enforcement on land is the same way that now government is looking to, in terms of setting up those structures at sea, and therefore making the area ready for investment, and making sure that it's not then the domain that illegal elements like human trafficking, drug trafficking, contrabands, customs evasion is taking place. Illegal fishing you've mentioned. So when we consolidate all that, then it's one of the pillars then of the blue economy. Yeah, thank you.